5 seconds remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Time for our second game of the day here. Second best of 3, I should say. Clutch Gamers versus New Beginning. I expect that to be as exciting as the first one that we've seen just a couple of moments ago. That concluded with a 2-0 victory for GeekFam. But now, another game, another elimination game. We'll see which one of these teams will make it out alive. My name is Dragonop, still joined by Skim. Well, how are you doing?
Doing fine. Honestly, much no offense to Evos or GeekFam, but I'm much more excited about this one because we have two sort of, I guess, more renowned rosters in a way. You know, we have the beginning with sort of veterans, almost legends of the game with Yamate, HY. So this is really exciting. And of course, we have Clutch Gamers who, you know, with Chappie, they've added a bit of different flavor to the lineup. You know, this is one of the few teams where we have a player that came from a completely different region and adds a little bit of flavor. They still have to find their success. They've not really been successful with this lineup yet, but maybe this is the tournament. You know, anything can happen really, and we haven't really seen them playing for too long. I think the last recorded match is a couple of weeks ago. I think they played some online match in between, but either way, you know, maybe they have something up their sleeve that we're not aware of. So I'm very excited for this one.
They always have the Chappie factor, right? They always have that surprise meeple pick coming through, right?
Meeple, awkward, and anything really.
Yeah, all this kind of stuff. It is that expression of that flavor from the CS scene, just bringing that in. I mean, we'll see if they can make it work. Because as I said, New Beginning, they have some big names out from the SEA region themselves. Not all of them are tagged up properly. Again, we still don't quite have a ticket, so some of them are hiding under aliases. But we'll just deal with that as it is. Tiny and Winter Wyvern. Pretty solid opener here. And in the SEA region, I've seen Tiny more as a 3 and 4 role rather than the one position that seems to be super popular in the Western scene. So, where do you think he's going to end up here?
No, I think it's a 3-position Tiny as well. I mean, either way, it's a good pickup because he can run it in both positions, or I guess even all 3 positions, really. But even in China, it's a very popular sort of like 3-position pick. Wyvern, a very popular, or a hero favorite by HY. Back in Whitefire's gaming, he used to love that hero when nobody else would.
Radiant team ban.
Both teams, I think, just looking at the bans, you can tell that they. I mean, obviously, you know, at this level, everybody studies each other, but a lot of signature heroes being taken out here. The Razor, for example, definitely a hero that actually both teams really like, and also a hero that works really well against Tiny.
10 seconds remaining.
Right now, I don't feel like any team really has given anything away.
5 seconds remaining.
If anything, you could maybe... well, I guess you could say that, you know, Clutch Gamers having secured both supports already does give something away, of course. Allows New Beginning to focus more on the cores. And, you know, when you pick like a mid or a carry, it makes it that much easier knowing what supports they already have. Because then, if anything, they can only outpick you by picking another... picking a really strong hero. But, for example, I mean, just as an example, right? If they didn't have the Earth Spirit, but instead something less aggressive, they could. Oh well, I can just pick a Queen of Pain into this. They can gank me anyway. Right? Obviously, this isn't the case here because the Earth Spirit is actually pretty strong.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they want to do. For now, it's New Beginning's turn to pick up probably another core hero here, or maybe you want to commit to a support.
I think you probably want to commit to the second support at this stage.
What did you go for here? Just something stable like a Rubik, or something more aggressive? I mean, Winter Wyvern very defensive already in nature.
Yeah, I think a Rubik would be too passive. It could work really well. I mean, there's lots of good spells to steal already, and there's pretty good counter against the Bane because you have the instant disable and you can steal pretty much all of the spells. But I think it would be too passive. I think they need something more aggressive. If the Sand King hadn't been banned out, I would have said Sand King, but I'm not sure how comfortable they feel on certain heroes because their support duo, it's a bit of a weird one. Yamate and what's his name? I forgot his name.
Ling, I believe.
Yeah, Ling. Their hero pools overlap a little bit, mostly because Yamate's. I mean, not Yamate. Did I say Yamate? HY. Sorry. HY's hero, HY and Ling's hero pool, they overlap a little bit, mostly because HY hasn't been playing support for too long. He's only sort of made the transition. I mean, he's played support previously before, but he's really only been full-time support for like half a year about roughly. So his hero pool feels restricted at times when I see him play. And I want to say, I actually wouldn't have said all the Titan. Not a bad pick though. Again, stable links with the Elder Titan and the Wyvern.
Yep. Also not really giving too much else away, I guess, in terms of like the big damage dealing cores that this lineup is gonna wrap around. Like you already have a bit of a setup here, a little bit of this control factor for the from the Wood Wyvern from the Elder Titan, so that protection just enables a wide variety essentially of core heroes that you otherwise wouldn't necessarily think about picking up against heroes like Earth Spirit who just can't close the distance. But now the Brewmaster as well, it could create some issues. One of these heroes that can kind of do well in the offlane, especially if you have some extra help in certain matchups for sure. Like with the Drunken Brawler spam, you can make it very annoying to just last it if nothing else. So, I don't know, New Beginning. I wonder if they want to just double down on that, make sure to just win that lane, or just dodge it out entirely. That's the other way to go about it.
It's difficult. We're laning against Brewmaster. It's not necessarily that easy. I think you probably just want to play it safe. Probably pick a hero that can punish the Brewmaster maybe together with the Wyvern. I'm thinking of something like a Morphin maybe. Dark Raptor works well as well. You know, can zone him out with a rocket, can harass him with a flat cannon. Can't miss on flat cannon shots, of course. So this is actually a good pickup here. Also, obviously, it's just a strong carry. They do have good pickoff potential though. They have a lot of good ways of dealing with the Gyrocopter. And on the other hand, if I look at New Beginnings lineup, obviously they don't really have that great lockdown for Brewmaster. I think this is a really good Brewmaster game. The lane is not going to be that great against Wyvern and Gyrocopter, but in the mid game he's going to have a lot of freedom. He can just toss up the Tiny into the air, can solo kill the supports almost. Elder Titan is going to be a bit of a difficult kill. Obviously, Wyvern has a defensive ability, but still, there's a lot of kill potential here on the Clutch Gamer's side. Whereas New Beginning, it feels. I mean, I'm not saying. Obviously, they also have kill potential, right? Tiny Elder Titan. There's a lot of burst damage here, and you know, obviously, with the magic resistance being removed from the Elder Titan, a lot of damage there. But I think their lineup is a bit slower in a sense right now. I mean, it depends on what kind of mid hero they pick up, but it feels a little bit slower right now. Which I think is fine, especially since Clutch Gamer picked the Medusa now. But I think it can be punished if Clutch Gamers pick like a really aggressive core into this now. Yeah. If they pick something that can contest the Gyrocopter effectively in the mid game, I think they could really spell trouble for a New Beginning.
Yeah, I feel like that's a piece of the puzzle that they need, because right now, just with the first 3 heroes, it's kind of all around this Brewmaster ultimate, right? Beyond that, it can be quite tricky to actually get off the ground to make ganks happen. Just with the Earth Spirit, sure, you can roll in, but sometimes you miss the roll, then all of a sudden you find yourself in a bad position without really having landed any of your spells. And damage output is also limited. He's also basically relying on his ultimate to do something in that regard. And now with Medusa pickup, you have this late game insurance. Like, you have this hero that can make good use of the space that you create. But yeah, they do need this extra hero that can combine up with the Brewmaster, with the Earthbird, with the Bane, to just actually turn this type of aggression into tangible things. Be it kills, be it towers. So, I don't know, I feel like something like a Dragonite could come in here. Come in quite handy.
I could, but you probably want the Medusa mid, I think, right now. And yeah, you could technically safely in DK, but I think you want something more aggressive, something that can push towers, but that can still be very aggressive. And I think that's where the Queen of Pain comes in. I think that last pick is a little bit awkward because of the Elder Titan. I think if it wasn't for the Elder Titan, you'd probably commit to another agility core that can be like an SF type kind of carry that can be really aggressive in the mid game, but can still scale well and then can take push towers as well. But because of the Elder Titan, you don't want to commit to that because they can really exploit this, and you already are very vulnerable on the Medusa again, or not very vulnerable, but you know, you are vulnerable against it already. And I feel like in the last series that we cast between GeekFam and EVOS, I feel like EVOS should have been had much more potential to actually win that game because of the Elder Titan. The Elder Titan was such a good pick, actually.
Yeah.
But well, Puck is also a really good pick here, I think. It adds a lot of mid-game aggression for New Beginning, which they lacked before. And with this, they can have more control over the Queen of Pain and the Brewmaster. This is really important because they didn't really have any control up until now. They only really had the Elder Titan and I guess the Tiny, but that's really it.
I really like this Puck last pick, like just straight up in the mid matchup. Right, you should always be able to win it in straight up 1v1. Of course, that's never really going to be entirely the case these days. You know that's going to be Bane and or an Earthspirit roaming in on top of you as well. But eventually Puck going to be very elusive indeed. So you're going to get to the point where it's actually hard for...
Prepare for battle.
yeah, hard for the Radiant side here to actually lock him down at all, right?
I wonder if they should have maybe put the Dusa mid against the Puck. I think Dusa mid is actually pretty... I think on the Queen of Pain they have kill potential. I'm not sure if they have kill potential on the... or if they would have had kill potential on the Dusa. And they could have played more aggressively in the side lanes.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, right? Puck is should be able to have a good time because, like, as much as you can dodge the Shadow Strike from the Queen of Pain, you can also dodge the Mystic Snake,
right,
which is what the Medusa relies on to be able to win the lanes. So, in that sense, just putting Chappie down here, making sure that he can leverage that up against the Tiny right now, hanging out in this
thing is, for me, the Dusa can reliably harass
30
Puck,
seconds
just
to battle.
even with split shot, but also in general because, you know, more damage. And I feel like if they had the Queen of Pain in the sideline here, they could actually really destroy the Tiny. But looks like this is just going to be sort of like standard lanes in a way, you know. Queen of Pain mid and then Deuce is safe.
Yep. Well, and Brewmaster up in the top. Clutch Gamers, they are on the Radiant side. Again, no ticket means we also don't have the team icons, so it's maybe a bit confusing. But it is what it is. New beginning on the Dire. Yamati leading the charge down mid. Has his teammate block up the wave, so... everything is standard as it gets. TP out from the Earthspirit, not hanging around to maybe snipe the courier or anything else. Instead, wants to try and help against NJ. Finds the slow, finds body blocks, but he just tosses them away. That means that he should be fine. Might have to eat through a few tangles, even itself, though. And I don't think they can actually leave him alone down here if they want him to get anything.
No, for sure not. There's quite a bit of kill potential here on this lane for sure. I mean, there's so much good sort of lockdown and control with the Bane and the Earthspirit. And they're hunting him right now. Shouldn't be able to... oh, what a nice toss into tower.
Oh! That was like a max range toss, and now First Blood might just very well be going towards them. And yeah, there it is. Fractures with the last punch with the help of the tower. Such an insane ability. Look at that range. Not wasting a single unit of space there.
Really, really good play here, and also good positioning from him. Looks like they were just baiting it, really. In the meantime, on the other side of the map, we have the Brewmaster pulling the wave, of course, but Ling trying his best to contest it, really, to make sure that he gets experience, and also make sure that Brewmaster can't just last it freely, but Brewmaster's still doing a good job. This is pretty much the offlane meta right now. You just pull the wave. Oh, mid lane, Yamate.
I'm quite low, but yeah, I was checking. Did did hold on to the illusory orb. So, get the stealth cancelled in the end, but got most of the value out of that. So, as long as you have that, you should be fine until the silences start to come through. Yeah, with these extra levels in your spirit. Outside of that, it's basically just a farm fest. And both teams essentially trying to outplay each other here in this mid lane in particular.
Not that big of a fan of...
Oh?
they should be able to get this. Not that big of a fan of KYXY's decision to go for Rocket Barrage level 1. I feel like you're never going to be able to get it off against the Brewmaster anyway. And if he just has Flat Cannon, he could harass him much easier. I guess it helps him last sitting under the tower if he has to. But, I don't know, I feel like Flat Cannon is a much more consistent build. Like, if you go Rocket, Flat Cannon, you max both in this lane. I think it's much better and helps you harass the Brewmaster. Right now, Brewmaster can stay in this lane uncontested. Because of that ward and because of the Earthspirit. And if he had Flat Cannon, he could at least harass him.
Well, on the flip side is, like, if you want to have any sort of kill potential at all, you really want the Rocket Barrage, so maybe that's what they're playing for. But, yeah, I mean, early levels on the Brewmaster, just as long as he is hitting his timings, you have the chance of getting a good primal split off, and that's what the hero's really falling around. But bottom lane, Nestle Avalanche to toss onto Chappie. I'm trying to clap him down, but Nightmare will prevent that for the time being. Chappie, well, still gonna be caught. But it's not nearly going to be enough damage. NJ does eat a mango or two, throw in a couple of extra spells. Chappie with Mana Shield, who shrugs it off.
A bit unfortunate because they wasted a bit of mana and a couple of spells and cooldowns already on the Bane before. And now they went onto the Dusa. Bit unfortunate, but yeah. Not really getting much out of this. Dusa is so difficult to kill, really.
I'll try and top. Look at this. KYXY in a lot of trouble here. The rocket's flying out now. Another rocket barrage available if he wants to try and turn this around. But yeah, Saitama, he's just tanking it up here for his friend, or else Earthbird might have been the one to fall. But they realize, hey, I'm big old tanky brewmaster. I can stick around here for a while, but Gyrocopter still wanted to try and finish him off on the retreat, but cannot prevent the roll.
By the way, have we talked at all about how Yamate is getting destroyed mid? Not really destroyed, but he's definitely getting out-farmed.
Shouldn't really be happening here, should it?
I don't think it should be happening like this. It definitely helped that the Earth Spirit was there early on. It kind of gave Queen of Pain a little bit of an advantage. But yeah, shouldn't be happening. And with this haste even... Oh my god, this is such a good play for the Queen of Pain actually. He's running back to base because of the haste. And now he's going to come back to the lane full mana with a... and with a double null, he's going to have such an... Not an easy time, but he's going to have such a good time in this mid lane against Yamate. Who also has double null, but he doesn't have the boots yet.
At the very least, he's just catching up in terms of CS. He gets himself some extra denies and right clicks, and so he can try and equalize that count at the very least. But now, this Earthbird coming in for another round. This time, level 2.
You shall not.
Rolling Boulder and the Boulder Smash.
Oh, Yamate.
Just use the orb as well. He does see him. But now the blink across.
Let the world end now.
All player, he can just do it himself. Didn't even need the Earthbird there. Just the threat of him being there, forcing Yamate to go down the river.
Now he's really lost the lane. I mean, yeah, he's gonna fall behind in terms of farm and experience. Bottom lane, get the kill onto NG.
Him down somehow.
Surprised it took that long. I feel like it's inevitable at this stage that you're gonna die to this combo, really.
Yep. Nightmare, make sure Medusa gets close. Maybe you line up a Mystic Snake up to level 3 now, so it's ridiculous amount of damage if it actually connects to you. Yeah, all these constant right clicks. There's only so much you can do, right? This full combo barely really barely made him sweat. I think that's the way to put it. Meanwhile, these supports, they continue to tussle up top. Like it's Earthbird together with the Winter Wyvern. Bit of a love-hate relationship here, just constantly punching each other in the face, but Rock will chase him away. Now the Brewmaster though, not quite level 6 just yet. We'll take a few rockets here from the Rocket Barrage. But again, no decisive pressure here, no easy ways to make kills happen on that side of the map.
Feels like this laning stage has become not necessarily stale in the sense that it's like boring or like nobody's doing anything, but it's like they're not really making any big rotations, right? They're trying to just have the lanes as they are, and they're pretty much content on both sides, I guess, in a way. But I mean, New Beginning shouldn't be content with how the lanes are going, I don't think. Hawk dying mid there. Yeah, I mean, we talked about how kills don't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but still, the Queen of Pain is having such a good time here. And or if she makes a rotation now, I mean, Sonic Wave, they could probably try and actually TP top or smoke top once they kill the Gyrocopter. If they hit level 6 in the Brewmaster, that's definitely a kill.
Yep. Well, for now, just going back to mid. Like, ideally you want your level 7, so you also have to max out Scream of Pain for an extra bit of nuking power, so I might just be grabbing that one up. Or maybe if they land roll into a silence onto the puck, there could be another kill there. Meanwhile, the bottom though, I'm very deep onto NJ, almost getting the kill. Now the TP will be cancelled. The Storm still finds the Bane. Nothing else they can do with that though.
Oh, mid lane, they find the puck.
God,
nice. Really good roll in there. And the stun on top of it, and the silence, of course. And it's just a good combo against the puck.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, I was waiting for that to happen, and then I switched to the other side of the map, and it's exactly when they go for it.
This is why I wasn't necessarily that big of a fan of the Elder Titan pick.
Dire's middle tower
I
is
feel
under
like
attack.
the Elder Titan,
Dire's structures
it kind
are
of
fortified.
removes a threat, right? If you have a roamer, like a more active roamer instead of the Elder Titan, it adds a potential threat into the laning stage. Suddenly the Queen of Pain has to be played a little bit more carefully, but the Elder Titan, if anything, is more of a defensive pick in this stage. Yeah, they get a pick off maybe under this main? Should be dead? Huh? Or is he?
But alright, he should be, yeah, with the extra right click coming through from the long range Winter Wyvern.
They get a kill here, but effectively they could have gotten this with any other hero. The Elder Titan obviously is going to shine in the late game. That's where the Elder Titan is really going to come into play. But right now, so close, 22 HP.
Damn.
That raindrop kept them alive.
It's kind of scary here when you realize that Medusa can do so much. I mean, even just the right clicks that came through hit quite hard. I mean, he has Face Boots, Aquila, decent amount of damage to throw out, and almost max level split shot. So you can start farming. And if you leave Medusa to farm, you're gonna lose the game more often than not.
And that's why I wasn't, I think New Beginnings shouldn't be happy with how the laning stage is going. If you look at the net worth, right, 3 of the top 4 are actually on the side of Clutch Gamer. They are completely dominating this game, or this laning stage right now, and they're very content with this. They don't have to rotate. Usually you'd see the Queen of Pain just rotated this stage of the game, but she doesn't have to. She used the ultimate mid. She could just stay here as well. There's no threat of killing her anyway. So, I mean, as I say that, there's no rotating. But Sonic Wave is also going to come back in like 10 seconds, so this should be an easy kill into the Gyrocopter.
Yeah. That's the other thing, right? The one hero that is, like, playing in these top network fields, they're gonna silence up the Elder Titan, Collar comes through, but now there's this Blue Split. Yeah, he's just soaks it up, and now with the with the Golden Praise, actually keeping him alive a little bit longer. Blue Master brings him down a little bit further into the air, while Queen of Pain helps clean up these other heroes. Now Fracture's also not long for the world either, running him down. Don't quite have the follow-up damage here. Blink just coming full on, Queen of Pain not willing to commit into that, but yeah, it's exact point that I just wanted to make, right? You have the Gyrocopter, who was the top net worth here on the Dire team, not anymore after that pickoff, but he's completely counted out by the Brewmaster at this stage, right? He pops a split, and all of a sudden, most of your damage really doesn't matter at all.
Look at this, by the way. Armel, he blinks in aggressively mid lane. Puck is right next to him, but they can't punish it because they have an ET. How do they punish that? I mean, he has to set up really big time in order to actually get the storm off, and obviously they're not going to get it off in time. So it's and even that, right? They just commit 2 ultimates for that 1 kill or for the, I guess, 3 kills top, but because of the nature of New Beginnings lineup, they can't really punish this either. Usually you'd say, all right, maybe now we could force something, maybe we could pressure a lane now because they committed 2 ultimates. But instead, well, they could just have to keep on farming. Because that lineup is actually pretty greedy. They have a tiny Puck and Gyrocopter. All 3 of them need farm.
Yep.
They can't just run around doing things because they need some sort of farm. They need a Blink or like a Shadow Blade or something in order to just be able to set something up. Maybe with a Smoke Gank here on the Brewmaster, but Brewmaster's not an easy kill. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even get this. If the... Yeah, no, they're not going to get this. Yeah.
Yeah, all the way to the tier 2.
He pings it out. Safe. He pinged out the puck perfectly. He just pinged it out. Guys, there has to be somewhere here.
Yeah. No way Jara goes that aggressively, even knowing that there's Blue Split on cooldown. They're gonna try. Shrine has just been used.
Steals the cream. That's about as much as he can do. And that's a waste of rotation from your mid laner. The only one that has comparable net worth in terms of, you know, in comparison to the others. Other cores.
Even comparable means doesn't necessarily mean favorably.
Yeah.
Like 4,000 on the Puck, alright, but then you look at 5.2k on the Queen of Pain, or more importantly Chappie, he's just happily farming away. Now a big old ancient stack that he's working on with that Mask of Madness of his. He's gonna break the 6k mark here, like 12-13 minutes into the game. And again, like you're gonna have the Hurricane Pike, and afterwards you're just gonna keep these items flowing in, like Skadi, Butterfly, Manta Style, or Lincolns, whatever he wants in this game. Probably Manta Style just have something against the silence, but who knows really? Duels is his oyster, so if he's continuing to get this free space, what are you gonna do against it? Even if you do find these Blink Daggers, You also need these damage items to actually put him over the edge.
All bottom lane. Looks like they're gonna find the Wyvern.
Yep.
They do commit a Sonic Wave to it, which I don't agree with. Because while New Beginning can't really punish the fact that they use this Sonic Wave, they can feel a little bit safer across the map now because it is down. That's a lot of burst damage, which I don't think they needed against this Wyvern.
Yeah. I just worried that someone else was around there in the sides and fractures. Oh, they see these trees having been cut down and they finally track him inside the tree lines. And yeah. Only secondary kill with or without a Sonic Wave. Another TP in. This then from Saitana on the Brewmaster, so...
Such a misplay. Such a misplay. They TP'd the Gyrocopter down here. Looks like they want to fight, but he should be farming top. There's a free wave top, which they now give to the Wyvern. And they ping it out as well. Like, the Earthspirit ping it out top. Like, if there's a Wyvern there only, they have to be here. Like, they have to be here. I mean, now, obviously, they see the rocket flying in, so they know the Gyrocopter is here.
Yep.
I don't know, it feels like a mistake here for New Beginnings to commit to the Gyrocopter to this. And you can see the Gyrocopter is already falling back because what's he going to do? Right, they're not going to get a kill.
Alright, Nightmare, the Fiend Script, Satana coming through with Blink across into the ultimate, onto the other Titans. The Fractures completely zoned out of this. One call down just fizzles out. Not really doing anything in particular. Yamate coming from side though, so they do at least get the Earth Spirit. But losing 2 heroes for it.
And they rotated again. Rotated everybody.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody down there.
Meanwhile, middle lane, like, Chappie is continuing to do his thing. Same for Queen of Pain. Got an early exit out of that particular engagement.
You could tell by the way Yamate was considering Dread drop an ultimate down here, but there was no way they could have killed the Queen of Pain even with the Yamate ultimate.
Yep.
Right now they really lack damage. And it's only going to get worse from here on out because the Queen of Pain is really close to an Orchid. She's going to have an Orchid about... at this rate, she's going to have it about a minute or two before Puck has his or her Blink, I guess. Not Blink, Yules.
Yeah, let's go for Yules.
So there's going to be that time window where he could just destroy the Puck with the Orchid.
A very scary prospect indeed. We were talking about how technically Puck is favored in this matchup against the Queen of Pain these days in the mid lane.
Even if it isn't favored, at the very least you'd expect them to be to draw even, right?
Yeah.
But he really got demolished. That one kill, or actually those couple kills, didn't really help. Obviously, again, there was help from the Earth Spirit. Let's not forget about that. But that's also because there's no threat from this ET right now.
Tama, Blink into the crush, no ultimate available, but now Stomp there to try and create some space. Actually does catch a Brewmaster now into the Winter Scourge.
Oh, that's a nice ultimate.
Keep Chappie away for the most part, but like, I mean, enough. The Fiend Script still keeps Tiny in range. Chappie gets a free kill off of that.
Alright, that ultimate was really well positioned, but I don't know why NJ just doesn't run away then.
Yeah.
It almost felt like, hey, maybe we could turn this, but no, that ultimate was dropped
really
to save him. It was dropped to save him, and he still runs back in.
Well,
I'm
can barely 4v5 right now, or 5v4 if you're looking at the Dire side. And as soon as Chappie turns up with the rest of the team, like, we haven't even seen a Stone Gaze yet. I can imagine a Stone Gaze on top of all the slows and Brewmaster like coming into the middle of that chaos. Might even see some people turn into stone, or at the very least being forced to walk away from that, turn their backs against these chasing heroes, really. It's not the best idea in the world, but they might be forced to do it. Now even stealing stacks. Look at this.
Oh, and this is not necessarily... Well, yeah, this was the comeback for a New Beginning. The stack for either Tiny or the Gyrocopter, or both, really. And Amel now has the Orchid. Surprised that he's just showing himself like this. I feel like he could have just gone into the jungle and solo killed anybody he wanted to. If the Orchids ults anybody, they're dead. So I'm surprised that he shows like that. I get that he's pushing out the wave so that he forces a rotation. He has definitely, like, somebody has to defend this lane. But I mean, he's also very much out by himself. Like, they could probably turn on him. Yep.
We'll try now, but just immediately Blinks break the call. Stun not lasting really long enough for them to be able to catch up. They really need a Blink dagger on a Puck, but he's also forced to go into the dual step up against the silence. So it's gonna be a while until you have the initiation towards the Queen of Pain with the Blink silence, and by that time, he might very well have the BKB at the ready already that is queued up. So Just the effect of having so much money this early on now. Nice little roll to silence, to everything. They even commit the Bruce Spin as a Winter Wyvern coming through, trying to help out Yamate, but it's ultimately not going to be enough. In fact, Wyvern's going to be lifted up by the Brewmaster and set up for death. Very easily, in fact. What the hell? He orchided somebody else?
Yeah, ET died top. They found him. Like, he killed ET and immediately blinked towards the mid lane to try and be part of this kill and the tower push. They can just go high ground. What's stopping them, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
they do have a good high ground hold with ET, with the Wyvern, of course. And, I mean, look at them. They're already almost back up, so obviously they can't just go high ground right now. But if they just get a Roshan soon, if they get an Aegis, I feel like they could just go high ground at this stage. They feel so far ahead. Even though it's, like, quote-unquote just 11k at 18 minutes, it feels like so much more.
Yeah. Consider that 11k is exactly the net worth of the Medusa. So you have...
They're one Medusa ahead.
Yeah, exactly. One Medusa ahead, one hero ahead. Like, 4v5 it's even, sort of. But as soon as Medusa comes into the mix as well, table shifts so much. And gonna try to bring it down here. Initiation is the Earth Spirit to try and run interference and will be successful. Chappie's still very much alive, slept up, but has his own Stone Gaze going now for the TP's in. The 3 heroes being committed, and I believe there was a blink reveal from Tiny as well.
Lane Yamate. Solo. He revealed this position with a silence, actually. He could have probably gotten away, but he wasn't sure whether the Brewmaster actually knew or not, but he didn't. Yeah, that was actually really good awareness from College Gamers. They knew this gank was coming. The Earth Spirit was sitting there because he knew it was coming. So he immediately stuns up the Gyrocopter, gives just enough time and space for the Medusa to get away there, and in turn they kill the Yamate puck top. I don't know, this feels... I wouldn't necessarily call it a GG just yet, but it feels so over. Just based on their positioning. What items do they have? Like, what does this net worth currently translate into for the Gyrocopter? Mask of Madness, Ogre Club. Right? And he's the top net worth in his team. It's nothing, really. On the other hand, we just look at the Brewmaster, Vlad's Blink. He's so tanky, adds a lot to the push, has a lot of gank potential. We'll look at the Queen of Pain, the Orchid, solo kill potential across the board, and then the Medusa almost has the Scotty.
Yep. And we're still even only 20 minutes in, so this Brewmaster ultimate Primal Split is still super effective. I mean, to a point where it doesn't even care about just using it for Winter Wyvern. They need some extra lockdown, they have the vision. And they have the interrupt for the TP, so... no way out of this one for Rindo.
I mean, if you're new beginning, you count it as a win. I mean,
oh yeah, but...
Brewmaster Split for support.
Like, that only works if you can punish that, right? That only works if you then get something else off of that, but right now, Clutch Gamers, they can still feel comfortable pushing, they can still feel comfortable continuing to farm, so any advantage that you get is marginal at best. And right now, most of you beginning, they're just huddled around the Gyrocopter up top anyway, as he's pushing down the lane. They finally want to claim the first tier 1 of the game, but even then, they're gonna have to trade for the tier 2.
At the very least. It looks like Medusa even wants to defend up top potentially. And yeah, TPs are coming in from the Bane as well.
I would say from the back. Avalanche, no toss, couple of 2-minute creeps there. Now the ultimate, yeah, they even gets rid of the rocket without using the Hurricane Pike. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, the Knight comes through. They secure the towers, Winter Wyvern dies, Fiend's Grip now onto the Tiny as he's still hanging around, fight solo, might give a slide forward here as he's sitting around 3. Nice little toss back, actually NJ still alive, Saitama looking to finish him off, one more punch will do the trick, and well, Chappie still just walks out, even with a toss into 3 heroes, he's just not threatened at all.
This is really rough, and again, their comeback potential is so... I mean, it is technically there, right? But they don't have the map control to sort of give this Gyrocopter farm or space or anything, really. His stacks were taken, and he can farm safely in the map or on the map at all, because this Queen of Pain is so strong right now. She can just threaten everybody in front of their tier 3s.
Stone to snipe it. Now, snaps the call immediately. It's starting to drop kind of low, but Yamate doesn't even have to follow up. Again, the lack of a blink dagger to make that to close the distance, right? If you blink in after that coil snap, you silence, you nuke her down, all good, right? You get these kind of kills. But as I said, Queen of Pain, way too strong for that right now, way too far ahead, so you can't go for these very aggressive plays that you normally wouldn't be able to get away with. So knowing the limits of this hero in this situation very well and exploiting that to their best, essentially.
Sure. And now we approach a timing where Culture Gamers...
DD rune in front of the Roche pit. Alright. What are they gonna do with that?
Ice Rock, please. This is Scotty completed on Chappie now as well. Yeah, they're entering a territory where it's getting increasingly more difficult to kill them, and they're finding it easier and easier to kill New Beginning. Let's see
it's
if
a bit
they
of an
can contest
issue.
the Roche
Try on
on the
the but he's up on the high ground right now. He missed picking up the smoke because they went for a bit of a different route, but still, call down. Not really going to do too much. A blue spin. Fiend Scrib even on Gyrocopter. Needs a couple of extra right clicks. This Chappie, he was stunned up by something, but now coming back, finish up that kill on Gyrocopter. Just as easily on the Winter Wyvern. Yamate has to try and play his way out of this one, but the blink across. Even the Earth Spirit has a blink before the park. The silences, the stuns, magnetize. The old Scepter will keep him safe a little bit longer. Does have another orb to work with. It's already been a triple kill, so the Titan ends up falling to Calm Player.
Trying to buy as much time for his team as possible, diving to tier 1, but he's
So
also
dead
going to lose his
isn't he?
life.
Yeah. Tries to toss back the Bane, but only gets a creep.
Well, I guess Puck has a blink now.
Yay.
Yeah, indeed. And again, everybody's coming back up again. They're so
That's
low.
cool.
in
You'll
terms of,
Scepter.
levels.
Stay near.
I'm still not sure what he's finding here right now. We really should be, because at this point there's a very deep dive. The Winter Scourge is keep the Queen of Pain in check for the time being. Meanwhile, they zap down the Brewmaster, but he's just continuing to fight. No choice in the manner as he was silenced up, but throws on the ultimate, blinks away as Chappie comes in to take over. 2 more heroes down, double buyback coming through. Next to this might be Gyrocopter, slowed down by the Scotty. One more right click will do it, but the use from Yamate keeps Chappie away, but still, the power is there. Fly solo coming in with a brain sap snipe on the Gyrocopter. No buyback on him, dieback even on the Winter Wyvern. This is just going from bad to worse. NJ next on the list. They keep all back himself, but not gonna live too much longer. And yeah, you have to call it at this point. GG, well played. 25 minutes is all it took, but as you said, it felt like it was over much earlier.
It was definitely over much earlier. I think it's not even just about the draft. I think draft was definitely a big issue. I think picking the Elder Titan and the Wyvern was way too passive for the core that they picked, because they picked the Gyro and the Tiny, both of which need time to come online. Even the Puck needs time to come online, really, and at the very least needed help. If basically their lineup was dependent on the Puck to solo in the mid lane and then just create space for the rest of the team, right, and just try and go for ganks.
Yeah.
But even the flaws in the draft aside, I felt like New Beginning was just running behind on every end, really. They couldn't find the openings. They tried to go for a couple really weird gangs. I don't know. College Gamers just felt like a team. New Beginnings felt like a stack, if that makes any sense, right?
Yeah. I have seen them play, like they've always had these kind of issues with the drafts not really lining up as well as they maybe could. Like the cogs kind of grinding against each other a little bit, but I have seen them throw out completely different games as well, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see this one go to a game 3. We'll see though. Clutch Gamers, they've haven't really shown too many weaknesses in this game. I mean, they didn't have too many opportunities for it. We'll see how it works out though. We'll be right back, so don't go anywhere.